Yay!
You think of that. I have
That's
3
so
questions
sad.
that listeners wrote in that I think we can give our take on.
Okay.
So kind of straight candid advice questions, you could say. Someone wrote in and said, ways to have proactive conversations about sexuality, especially grandparents of people of that generation. How to get them to understand and respect the meaning of pronouns and bisexuality.
How to have those tough conversations.
How to have those tough conversations.
I read this one too.
Like, think of trying to tell your grandma that everyone's gay. You know, that generation would not understand
like,
that
no.
comment.
What do you mean? My grandma would get really feisty.
Yeah, so...
And if you're sitting here and you're like, well, I'm not gay. And we're like, well, you know, you're probably not, but you're probably you're curious at some point, whether you want to admit it or not. It's about curiosity. Humans are curiosity beings or curious beings. And we're fluid. Like there's no black or white. Like there just really isn't. Like we're so much deeper than that. But how would I have that conversation? You know, I've had to have the conversation because of the age of my grandparents, and how I usually do it is, you know, they'll say something more intense, like, you know, well, something about someone being gay or like how it might be wrong or how it's like weird or whatever. And I go, that actually doesn't really involve you though. Like that's usually how I do it. I start like lighter. I'm like, that doesn't really actually involve you. Like, I don't think that's your opinion's needed on what they're doing.
Yeah. Does that affect you, Grandma?
Yeah, that's kind of like what I say. Like, does it?
And yeah, I mean, stand up for your beliefs. Like that's the only way we're going to make any change is stand up for yourself. And I think coming from a place of love, trying to speak to your grandparents about something like that is going to be important. Just kill them with kindness, but also like give them the information that they need.
Yeah. And this, you know, they lived in a different time, and also it's more so talking about extended family, not in specific. Exactly. My grandma, I feel like I'm not like, by the way, grandma, if you're listening to this, I'm not pointing you out as like a bad person. She's pretty in the know. She's pretty cray-cray. No, I like that question. It's tough, but kill them with kindness, like you said.
Someone else wrote in straight candid question. She goes, this made me laugh.
Okay.
Do most women feel slightly bisexual, or am I actually bisexual?
I read that one.
I was like, I've never related to anything more in my life.
Oh, God.
And honestly, I can't give you an answer because
I don't know.
I'm on the same page.
I'm literally sitting here on the spectrum over here. So, hey-oh, like, but I wouldn't, yeah, I mean, it just lean into your curiosities. Yeah. That's all the advice I have to say about that. Like,
yeah, lean into it. See also, what it feels like.
Don't worry about the label. Yeah. Who cares?
That's the other.
Don't worry about the label.
That's the other good point is just why you have to define it, right?
Don't worry.
All right. Do you remember what you were going to say?
Oh, well, I had one thing that Emma actually sent. Okay. And it popped up and I was like, okay, this is a good point that we should talk about, just stereotyping in general too. She said the fucking gender wage gap and women sexualized in the workplace just grinds my gears. Why is it like this is serious. I don't feel like it's appropriate for me to even wear like a V in my shirt, like while going to work, or I worry like my pants are too tight. Or like I worry, what if like a little tiny crack of my stomach, which it wouldn't, I mean, that's more of a professional thing, like shows, but why? Yeah. Like, why is it that I have to worry about people looking at me versus people just keep minding their fucking business? Like, why? I don't even have big boobs. Like, why should my little tiny crack matter? Like, really, seriously. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Women are very over-sexualized in the workplace.
It's insane.
Which is why I hate jobs that have to have like a clothing rule of any sort. I just can't do it. Yay!